Hey guys, welcome back to Chaos Zero Nightmare. In today's video, we've got episode number, I think it's 4 of the podcast. And this time we have up the top Jenazad, and in the middle we have Warbalt. These two boys come from the Epic 7 background. And we're just here to chat about basically everything to do with the game. We don't have like a real set structure. We want to talk about maybe some of the balance in the game, the chaos, the new season, all that good stuff. Yeah, we'll basically get off with introductions. Jenazad, we'll start with you. Just give yourself a bit of a background.
Hey, I'm Jenazad. I played Epic 7 for like 5 years, way too long, nonstop. And well, now I'm recaptured by Smilegate playing their next game. And well, I've been waiting for this game for like a year. It's damn good.
100%. And you, Warbalt?
Yeah, Warbalt. I also played Epic 7. Not as quite as long, but I've been under the heel of Smilegate this entire time since I started playing that. I went to Lost Ark after, and I still play that. So I just can't get rid of them, I guess.
fair call.
Now I'm playing 2 Smilegate games and giving them twice as much money. So, here we are.
It's always the way, unless you're like me and you're an idiot and you just stick free to play to everything. But I'll leave these guys' channels in the description as well. Make sure to go show them some support, guys. But the first thing I want to kick off with is the new season Chaos. How are you guys feeling? What's your general thoughts? Are you enjoying it still? Because one of the things that I think for some people, obviously I think we're a bit more, I think Jenazad's definitely way more hardcore with his stream hours. But I feel like it could eventually get to the point where you feel like you're putting so much time in but getting nothing out. Like, what's your guys' general feel about the Chaos still personally, and how do you see like the whole design of it moving forward?
I guess I'll start off. I think that the concept is really good. The whole seasonal thing, I think it's a really smart idea, and I really liken it to Path of Exile. I think they're going for that feel. And actually, there were some leaks from like really early on designs of this game. They had like a Path of Exile skill tree, and if you look at the Chaos or the Zero system, it also has like a Path of Exile map kind of system and how it works. So there's a lot of inspiration there, and that's how they're doing the seasons in this game too. The problem is, even though it's a really good concept, I think they missed the mark on the season. I think probably you guys will agree too, is that it feels as though it just doesn't quite have enough, right? It doesn't have enough that makes you want to keep going back and really excited for it, right?
Yeah, see, for me, I was thinking about this last night, and I was like, I reckon I've put about 10 plus hours of playtime into the game and got nothing useful out of it. And I was just like, shit. But then the problem was I was going to bed last night because I had to get up at, I was getting up at quarter to 4 to do this. And I was like, why am I going into a chaos run when I'm supposed to be going to sleep? Because it does have that really fun gameplay loop. But the crazy thing is that I realized is I'm going in here, I'm spending all this time, I'm enjoying the shit out of it. It does have its frustrations. I'll talk about some of my frustrations later on. We'll talk about that especially the seasonal chaos. But it's like, then I finally get a good save, and it's like, I slap it in one run through Dimensional Twilight, get the 2-turn clear, and then I'm like, all right, moving on to the next thing. Like, what am I actually doing it for? So I think definitely...
Like, why did you get that run? Like, what was the point of chasing that run? Like, you got it, but now what?
And so I was also on stream yesterday, and like, because Hugo got the fix, which is a massive fucking win. I couldn't believe it took this long for me to be justified in my complaints that it did not exist. Oh, anyway, besides the fact... And I'm like going through it and I'm like, yeah, guys, but like if we actually get content that is intended to go for more than 2 to 3 turns, I would actually prefer to have the coordinated attack Hugo upgrade, because then you're getting more damage and you can just draw through it in your first couple turns, stack it up, and then away you go. But I'm just like, but will that be something that's ever like necessary? What's your general thoughts, Warbalt?
It's pretty much the same. Like I actually like that you brought up PoE, because like the gameplay loop kind of feels similar, right? Because I play a lot of PoE too. I've been playing it every season since it started launching, and eventually you just get to that point where your build's so powerful that you just shit on everything, and I feel like you're just kind of like doing that with this game as well. And like once you reach that point, it's like, okay, time to make a new character, and then in this game it's just like, okay, time to build a new unit. It kind of has that same gameplay loop, But the thing is, in PoE, you can like do a bunch of different bosses. I guess the game's still early in its game cycle, right? So maybe once we
Yeah.
have like more Luduses in the game, or I wish it wasn't just limited to 3 entries. Maybe if like you could do it for free after doing all of your entries, just to go in and mess around with your things. So maybe that would be an easy change to make. Like you go in for no rewards after you do your 3. That would probably be a quick and easy change to give us more stuff to do. But overall, in the whole season, the story was kind of whatever. I didn't read that, obviously. The
I don't
chasing
think anyone cares about the story. This is
yeah,
not
yeah,
the
skip
whole
all
thing.
All
Yeah,
I know
Owen-
is Owen's apparently the
that.
goat. That's all I know about the story.
Yeah. Owen's a Chad.
can attest. And then like the doing nebula distortion, I think that was an okay concept, and I think the challenge was at a pretty good spot because
Yeah, I agree. It's not
it,
easy.
it was
Like,
at a point where I was like, okay, I want to kill this fucking crab. You know what I mean? So hopefully we get that going with the other bosses. I'm sure there's like the vast majority of the player base probably hasn't even cleared 9 out of 9, surely.
yeah.
So
Hmm.
we're kind of the weirdos that will like throw ourselves at this until it's dead.
Yeah.
But the more casual player base, it probably feels a bit more better than them. The people that don't max out their weekly chaos, within the first 2 hours of weekly reset. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the other thing I want to say
Yeah.
that is fantastic is the fact that you don't have to do it. Like you don't, if you
Right,
miss
right.
if you miss like 4 or 5 days and you log in for 5 minutes and do your dailies, you're not actually missing out on anything. Like
Right.
So I do think it is generous in that aspect. And with the boss, I enjoyed building to try and get Yuki to clear the boss because for the first day I was just playing Yuki. And then I'm like, fuck this. I just went and made an absolute scuffed Tressa Hugo build and then just absolutely tapped the boss on 9 and 9. And I was just like, all right, let's go back and try and do it with Yuki. There's a fun little challenge for myself to throw in. But I think for me personally, as free to play, one of my issues
Free to play,
is...
by the way.
one of my issues is that
BTW.
it's like trying to build characters. I feel like that's still the biggest issue in a game where this is your gameplay loop and it's all about experimenting with different characters. I feel like getting them to a baseline functional level, it would be nice if it was just a little bit cheaper. I'm just trying to,
100%.
you know what I mean? Just so I'd love to go, even Haru, who I had no interest in, I'd still like to sort of test her out. Luke and Renoa are two I desperately want to test out. Problem is, like, all the supports, like even Cassius, I can play around with at 40, but I feel like the damage dealers especially, like, I really want them past level 50 to get a good vibe. I mean, Rin is fine in this season at level 50 just because of she's kind of cater-made for it, and she just sort of stomps through. But yeah, I definitely think just having that lower barrier to have a reasonable build on your characters would be quite nice. Now, I was just saying to you guys before as well, though, in the Arc City when you do your bloody commissions or whatever they are, I have got so many battle missions to go ahead and do. So this is probably me also being a bit of an idiot in that, I've unlocked so many battle missions that I just haven't done yet. And I'm just like, dude, go and fucking do them. You will get some units and you'll be able to do stuff. But yeah, I'm a bit lazy on that front. But yeah, what do you guys think in general about the being able to build characters and stuff like that? Oh, my camera froze.
Yeah, I don't know why your camera froze, but you're deep in thought.
Yeah.
But either way, essentially, they're just not giving us enough resources. And I don't know if you know, but Korea is actually planning like sending trucks to Smilegate. And one of the core reasons, there were like 3 reasons, and one of them
what do you mean
was
sending
actually...
I'll
talk about that in a second. But
from the
I'll explain it in a second. But yeah, one of the reasons was they said there's just not enough resources to upgrade characters, potentials, levels, money, all that stuff. So sending trucks is a classic maneuver they do in Korea where when they're really pissed at you, they crowdfund a bunch of trucks that have like signs and stuff on the side and loudspeakers, and they have them drive around the company all day, just blasting slogans and stuff and like having like dumb images on it, like mocking them and things like that. This is like a classic thing.
Bro,
So they
imagine
send the trucks at them.
Imagine that's your like your personal business model.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like,
It's like, yeah, so I'm the truck that they hire, man. Like they hire me every day, bro.
like who's the bloke in
Dude,
there
and-
like fucking driving it with like
Yeah.
like is it just like a standard truck or is this guy like no, this is like my thing in Korea. People
don't
get
know,
pissed
man.
here, so we dude, that's crazy. Really? Well, hopefully it does something and hopefully we get more free shit. 'Cause-
Dude, and
They're planning
Smilegate
it
is
for-
no stranger to this either.
Oh yeah.
because,
No, this used to happen in
like-
Epic 7 all the time, man. Send the
Really?
trucks.
And it happens with Lost Ark as well.
Oh, yeah.
So it's actually so funny.
Yep.
Far out,
One of
that's
the other
crazy.
reasons is they wanted a buff to Yuki. They really are upset about Yuki's performance. That's another thing that they had in their like bullet points along with the resources.
Actually, that's a good one to talk about. How are you guys feeling about Yuki's performance?
I think
I
she's
actually haven't
probably
played her
one of
that
the weakest main DPS in the game. Like
Mm.
easily. I think she's around Luke level, and also I think if Luke
Oh,
was
don't say that.
big-titted woman,
The Luke lovers are gonna get you, man.
I use Luke all the time. Don't get me wrong. I play him all the time. But I'm saying if Luke was a big-titted woman, people would be crying nonstop for him to get buffed too.
Yeah.
The
Although
only
I,
reason that nobody cares is because he's a guy.
dude, I see a bunch of the CN clips of the guys in CN cooking. I saw a Nebula Distortion, like 9 debuffs. Luke do it in a single turn.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Like,
I can
Yeah, he's
conceptualize how that's possible if you
Yeah.
spam enough bullets with like Dance
yeah,
the Demon.
but that's
can see it, but, like-
crazy to me. The damage that
Yeah.
you're putting out with all that mitigation is nuts. But yeah, like I mean that, and I think that's the thing though. In with preset deck builds, like I feel like anyone can feel overpowered.
Mhm.
I
It
mean,
can be crazy. Yeah.
even with Yuki, because of this thing, like you actually can feel quite comfortable. Now, I will say in like after another because we spoke about this on my last podcast with the other boys, but after another week of playing, I definitely feel like she's more comfortable for me. The big thing is what they did was obviously add back all the zero system buffs into
Mhm.
the.
Everyone feels so much stronger.
It's like honestly,
yeah.
that was that was a good fix, and I do like how quick they are reacting to stuff like that because, like now, like obviously, like difficulty 11. I went into this once, and I'm like, ain't no fucking way that's going to be worth farming. So I just dropped straight back down to 8, and I've just been farming those 12s or 13s on 8, doing them on deep trauma, and basically everyone feels like it's quite comfortable as long as you don't get some of the major crippling debuffs to go ahead and go through. So I think that was like a big thing, and it did help make Yuki feel not so shit. However, on stream yesterday, I'd spent a week just grinding Yuki. I haven't put the dupes in yet either, so I was like just trying to I've got the Douglas.
Douglas the goat.
Yeah, like I was just playing Yuki and I was having a ton of fun. Like I love the playstyle of searching cards, getting cards, and just looping through. Like it's actually a really fun playstyle, and it is nice when you just jump into the chaos and you do 2 AoE abilities, and then the trash 3 to 4 mobs are just dead. But then
Explode, yeah.
yesterday, after the Hugo fix, I went back in with Hugo, and then I was like, oh. Yeah, she ain't that good. It's like,
yeah, everything just gets
because you
mowed
just
down.
lightning dingo the fuck out of everything, and it's just like, oh yeah, it doesn't feel as good.
Here's the thing too. Everyone says, "Oh, well, that's because Hugo's single target and she's AoE, so it's a totally different thing." And I'm like, "What am I using this AoE on, bro?
Yeah,
What? I single target with Mei Lin, kill all 4 enemies faster than her AoE is killing these 4 enemies in chaos. Like I can single target AoE them faster. It's like it's safer that way too, really. She just doesn't really have much of a place at the moment, and there's other characters that have some alright AoE too. So like she's just a little bit jank right now, and I see a lot of people say like, well, she doesn't have to be OP, and I don't think she needs to be OP. I just think she needs a little bit of a damage bump up, right? Like for instance, her first dupe. Do you see that one? It's crazy.
that removes
it's literally just
dude. How dumb is it that they
nerfed
handy
her.
like it's so it like literally if it was the other way around. I've said this before. If it was like the skill does the amount of damage and then the
Does
ego
more.
was
20.
adds damage onto it, it would look so much better. But this is just
Nobody
them
would
saying
have an issue, man.
like it's like oh my god, like how brain dead do you have to be to put that like
Yeah.
in that way? It's so
It
telling.
makes it feel so
It's so bad.
cheap, where it's like we punished you, pay to unpunish yourself. Like really?
Exactly.
It looks so bad. It's just a matter of perspective, and they could easily have changed that, man.
It's like you're not paying to do more damage. You're paying to not do less damage. It's
Yeah.
like it is
So bad, man.
it's so frustrating.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know what? Actually, now thinking about it, in her state, do you know what it really reminds me of? Do you remember Launch Star Rail, where Herta and Himiko were like the two absolute spuds of the group? Fast forward
Yep.
2 years, and they're the most valuable of the starter roster because now they have a place that requires AoE.
but
And I feel like that's
I
where this
hope
game's at.
I don't want them to do that. I think that's really bad, where it's like we've created kind of senseless content just for these characters to be good in, rather than just make the game better and the characters have
Yeah.
more of a place, right? Like, so eventually it would be nice if you're playing Chaos and you're like, oh, like some of these AoE things are really dangerous. I really want AoE. Because right now it's like, okay, I used AoE, and now the 3 Mimic guys are below 70% health, and they all attack me at the same time. Like, cool AoE turn. It's like, this is really great. Like, thank
It's
God
actually
for AoE.
it's actually really funny. For those that are wondering which ones we're talking about, it's the 3 weird ass stiff looking dudes that when you use an attack card, they will use a buff. When you use a buff card, they'll use an attack. But once they're below 70, they just attack. And it's like with any single target, you go, okay, I'll just nuke one down. And then I'll pass my turn. Then I'll nuke the other down, pass my turn. With Yuki, it's like, fuck, they all dropped to 30% and they're not dead. It's like,
Yeah,
what are
no.
we doing here?
It's so brutal. Sometimes the AoE screws you over. I mean, sometimes it's really good, don't get me wrong. Like, and when she works, she's really fun. It feels super good when you get like a good iceberg cleave and the enemies have vulnerable and all that stuff. But really, I think the easiest way for them to make her better is they don't even need to change her damage. Just make it so that she hits more total times. So rather than, you know, 200% damage with one hit, you do 200% damage with a total of like 3 hits, for instance, because that means you can scale off of morale. That means a character like Rey now scales you way harder with her buffs as well. It means future stuff will buff you too. Because right now, it's like Haru scales with vulnerability, right? Because Haru hits for like 1000% on a vulnerable thing, but Yuki's doing like 200 to 300% on a vulnerable. So it's like way less value.
Yeah, it's kind of clunky because and like the funny thing is that the way she feels fun is literally through having that forbidden card, and that's what's kind of awkward about the way she currently plays as we go ahead and get a brick hand where we can't actually do just an absolute slap. But I definitely think like that draw power side of things, where you get that, and it's like literally that forbidden card that sort of saves her because the game is so single target focused at the moment. Just being able to bring in that forbidden card, and like, do you guys think that is a good model of that? Like those sorts of cards are what you're actually grinding for in the season, or do you think, there's another way to go about it?
I think that's
You go first,
it's
Warbalt. I have a long tangent.
yeah. I think the character should be good at a baseline without that needing a neutral card to be good. I've talked about this in one of my videos, actually. So I do definitely agree with that. But I do think having this as an additional option is not a bad idea. To where like, okay, there's some crack cards that you can get out of here. But realistically, farming for them is annoying because they're not 100%. So you could get like this crazy crack save data run at the start. You could hit the mutant sample at the start, and then you get to the tunnel and the shit doesn't even show up. So, like, I think that's stupid. I think it should be 100% every single time. Or maybe, like, once you reach a certain level of the event, you could, like, re-roll the forbidden card that shows up, like, after you complete enough challenges, or, kind of like how it has the research. Maybe add, like, a research thing for the season itself, so you can improve the seasonal content and make the save daters, a little bit easier to farm over time. That would help a little bit, maybe. And then I also think they should add seasonal based epiphanies to, maybe not every single card, maybe just, or even like a seasonal based epiphany to your mythic card, right? Because it doesn't even have an epiphany. So if they added just another extra epiphany you could get, maybe just like, it doesn't even have to be 5, right? Maybe just 3. Just for a little bit extra. And that, I think that'll increase the value of like seasonal data too. And I kind of want them to make something limited to the season. I get it's going to get integrated into Zero System, and I think that's good, but at the same time, it doesn't really make you like there's no sense of like urgency for the season itself because the season just becomes permanent. So I kind of want some kind of like limited resource to the season itself, and any way they could implement that without it being too punishing to where like people feel too much FOMO when it goes away. I think that would be kind of cool. But that's
Yeah.
just kind of like
I think
think
even
that
like
makes sense.
limited time, like achievements
Even
and
skins.
aesthetics and stuff like that. 'Cause you
Title.
don't- like, because you don't want to feel like, you know, like 1 year down the road where, oh, this build from season 1 is still the best, but I can't go back and get it now, because you don't
Right,
want to end
right,
up in
right.
that situation. But I definitely agree with that. But it's actually, just let you go, Jenna, because you said you had a ton to talk about in that aspect
Okay.
anyway.
So I also wanted to talk about this earlier, but it also relates to Path of Exile in their design as well. So the season, it's a really good idea. What do you go into the season for? Well, you want to experience the new content. What's the biggest part of the new content? It's the forbidden cards. Similar to how what Path of Exile do is they'll have a new mechanic, like let's say a shrine. In every single area, there is now a shrine you interact with, right? That's what happens during the season. Then when it gets integrated into the main game, you will sometimes find a shrine randomly when you're going around. Like it's a random little bonus thing. But the problem is, you go into a chaos run, you don't find a forbidden card almost ever. You either don't find the tunnel or you find the tunnel and there's nothing in there all the time. And you kind of want to play to experience all these cool things, because what's so fun about the forbidden cards, they can be build enabling. Like you're saying with Yuki, you can get that 9-cost forbidden card, and now she has a crazy single target nuke. I feel like how the season should work is you feel really excited to play because now all these characters you have can be built completely differently. Now you can experience a brand new way of playing them. And I feel like the season is failing to do that, because have either of you guys had like a crazy run, like an unbelievable run with some
I
of
was
these forbidden
just going to
cards where
go
you're
through
like,
that.
yeah, you're
So-
like, this is so crazy. I'm never going to get this run again, but it's like so fun, right?
So I was chatting to Warbalt about this when I was doing this run, and I was fucking raging. I'm like, this is fucking bullshit. Because this was on a 160 save limit. You can see I got 90 points. I hit this one. It's not her best one, but it has the plus AP. This with plus AP, I absolutely love. Then I got the Trickery Strike. Now, Retain Retrieve isn't normally the one I want, but when you got Retain Retrieve with 2 vulnerable on the target, now you've got some really nice vulnerable stacking. And then I even got this bad boy, which is the Forbidden, and I'm like, oh, we're so set. 3 more shops. I couldn't get the bloody the confiscation to add to it.
Confiscation.
And I got this on the first boss dupe. I went through the next dupe event, and I went through the final boss dupe. I didn't get any of her cards up for offer, except both bloody times I got the sample, the mutant sample, the one that you copied to get rid of it. And I'm like, this build could have been the build. And then also, like, the boss didn't drop the chess piece at the end. So it was like those very low chance things to happen, like getting the 2 specific epiphanies, divines, where it's like, oh wait, this could be a really cool playstyle, but then you just miss out on that other little bit of RNG, and then it's like, well, this just goes into the absolute shit pile, and it's never getting used back to my standard one.
So-
You know what I mean?
That right there, you're saying that's part of the problem with this season. And I think this is what would make people want to play way more, is if there was, it doesn't have to be like 100% all the time, but just more consistency in trying to attempt to make these builds. Because like you've seen some of the other cards too, like the one where when you draw it, you just get 1 AP and draw 1 card, but then it sits in your hand and you have to discard it. Well,
Yeah.
you should be able to make a whole play style around that, for instance, where you have multiple of it in your deck or something, and you're able to like cycle it and discard it and then draw more. Like that's what makes things so exciting and makes people go like, I really want to play this new season. I see so many people, especially in my chat, that are just like, so do I need to play this? Like, do we care? Like, I don't really like this
Right.
planet. Like, they don't really want to interact with it because they don't get those highs that us who have played the game for so many hours have experienced at least a few times of like, this is absolutely insane. I want to do that again. And I barely get any of those runs. And so I
Right.
really think what they need to do is, honestly, double the difficulty. This might sound crazy, but wait, double the difficulty, but now make it so you're getting like 3-4 forbidden cards pretty consistently in your runs, and you're able to make these crazy decks, because then people are going to be like, this is absolutely wild. I'm cycling like 20 cards a turn, and I'm playing 2 Ecstasy of Violence that combos with all this morale. Like, if you give people this kind of feeling, they're going to be like, this is amazing. Like, I can't wait to play more of this. It feels like I'm playing totally different decks. I'm aiming towards a different play style. I'm playing completely differently, right? And I think that's kind of what it's missing, and I hope to see in the future.
Well, do you like? I honestly don't know because I've never done it. But could that be what difficulty 11 Deep Trauma is?
No, I almost never
Not
get
really.
forbidden cards. It's basically just a struggle of you getting your ass beat by the final boss because it kills you in like 2 turns.
Okay, so
Yeah, it's just a DPS race. If you
Yep.
don't get like the right fate at the beginning, your run's a lot harder. Like if you get the one
It's
you got
brutal.
Jenna on your clear, that the brain one, like that makes it
Yeah,
infinitely more
things are kind
easier,
of
right?
badly balanced. Do you know about the brainwash fate that you can like start with at the beginning of a run?
what's it do? I don't know any of them by name.
It's a 2% damage increase every time you draw a card with
Oh,
an
yeah.
ability.
That's huge, yeah.
Yeah. So like if you start with that, you probably win the run most of the time because you just
Yeah.
stack it because for some reason it's permanent for the entire run. So it's completely overpowered. But if you don't have that and you just have something like start with 2 rare items, that's your beginning fate. You're like, okay, so now the final boss is a 40,000 health enemy that hits me turn 1 for 800 damage, turn 2 for 1,000, turn 3 for 1,200, right? So now I got to fight this guy and I better get the most insane build of all time. And oh, I went into a tunnel and I didn't find a forbidden card. Good luck to me.
All right, let's say
Then you didn't find the dupe event.
let's see if I can get it. I honestly didn't realize that one stacks across the whole battle. I always thought like
permanent
the draw
for
for
the whole
morale
run.
one was huge, but if that's permanent, the whole bloody thing,
Yep.
then
It's
dude, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
Let me see
It's
if-
actually
that's how I won my Yuki run at difficulty 11. She had like 2,000% AoE or something on that boss. Like
That's
it's insane.
crazy. Wait, let's see how we go here. Let's see if I can get it. I'll do a run if I can get it. Dimensional tunnel. Nah, didn't get it. Rip.
Sadly not there.
you
But
actually
yeah, like the difference is crazy.
I watched your video you put out before, like probably before this, and you actually got it. And when you were trying to show, I think the rare occurrence event, you actually had it like in those.
Yeah, no,
options there.
because I always see that one side by side with the morale one, the draw to morale. I feel like I always get those two together, and I've just always taken the morale because I feel like the morale's like the plus, and I think the morale is like I think it stacks quicker or something, and I was just like, oh, that feels like the better
every
one.
time you draw or something with a card, you get 1 stack of morale, which is insane, right? In so many of these runs.
Yeah, I did not realize that one is like just perma.
Yeah.
Holy. Well, that's gonna be how I'll end up doing a deep trauma on difficulty 11. But yeah, I definitely agree. Like, I that's what I thought. Like when I came back and I was farming difficulty 8, I was just like, that just feels like the comfortable point. Anyone can do that. It's pretty cruisy. And I was hoping that would be the case, but as like I saw other people trying this, like it didn't seem like they were getting much better drops than I was over here. Now
there's no reason to.
Yeah,
There's no incentive. Maybe as you go up, you get way more forbidden cards and other stuff, which makes you go out of control, right? That could be really fun for people.
Yeah, like I feel like eight being a good balance point, so you don't feel like you have to do 11 is a good thing. But like getting a little like 20% boost in like whether like the rare occurrences like happen like 10-20% more as you get to level 11, that would be a nice little boost. But once again, I don't know the back end, so maybe there is something. But
Yeah.
from what I've seen, it doesn't seem like it. What the biggest thing to me that does my head in the most from this chaos, and like they fixed a bunch of it with adding the zero system and stuff like that, it is the duplication event in zero system. It felt like it was there on every run, and it was select the card out of all of your cards. Now we're back to it's there maybe 30-40% of the runs, and it's select from 3. And
if you find the rare version,
the rare one
select
does
any. But
do you know what's crazy? I've had the rare version once. That's it.
I think I've had it twice.
it's really rare, bro. The name ain't kidding. It's really rare.
I had it once
And-
before they did the fix, and that's it. I have not seen it again. And you can duplicate the forbidden cards with it. It's like, come on, we got to up
Right.
the rates on that thing, guys. Like,
You know, funny you say that. I have never found a forbidden card and that event at the same time, a single time. Never.
oh,
happened before,
that
bro.
is a kick in the dick. Oh no, yeah,
Never happened. So, if
I
I
did
had
it
two
once
violence
on
of
my alt
ecstasy,
account.
yeah, that
That's
violence of ecstasy card, by the way, probably the most broken card in the entire game. The 9 cost, do 150% times 4. I had a brainwash run with that, and it was literally up to 1,000% times 4. And I had 3 confiscations. I would just bring it back. The final boss of the run, my Renoa, did literally 30,000 damage in a single turn to that poor thing.
Dude, I thought this thing
Yeah.
was going to be broken because I originally, when I read confiscation, when it said move from the discard pile, I thought I was going to be able
I know
to
what you
have
mean.
multiple confiscations and cycle it. Just because, like,
Yeah.
and this is where, like, the fine wording in different things, because with, like, Rin, when you use this one, you can play the card, get it back, play the card, get it back. And I
Yep.
thought it was going to do that. I'm like, no way. And then I realized my stupid Yu-Gi-Oh brain reads discard pile and graveyard as the same word because I'm used to calling it graveyard
yeah.
from Yu-Gi-Oh. But if it says graveyard, it can be returned from the played pile. And
Right.
and I was like, dude, can you imagine if confiscation worked like that and you could just cycle it? Like, this thing would be
I think it'd be too overpowered.
even more broken. But
Well, it's still insane, but
It-
you guys
it-
know about the wording of some of the things like percentages? Like when it says just a percent, that's a multiplicative, but if it says plus
yeah, so it's
a percent, then it's additive.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Like
so
they did that too. Like the wording is so important for us to understand, but the translations are so bad. Like I don't know
It's
how they
so bad.
mistranslated numbers, by the way. Some of the things like how do you mistranslate a number? Like that's just universal.
yeah, what was
but
it?
some
What
of
was
the
it?
things
The
they have-
mission for the affinity or something? It was like there was one of the missions I remember, like when we got there, and it
You
was
would
like
get to like
two,
level 30 or something.
yeah,
and
it was like 2. You know, it was like get a bond level to like level 4 or something, and I was like, okay, I did it with a fresh character and I didn't get it, but no, it was like meant to be like level 15. I'm like, how does that even happen, boys? But yeah, I just I think that
Same way AI generates new fingers. It's probably all AI generated.
yeah, I mean, let's face it. That's probably the quickest, easiest way to do a translation. But I feel like in something like this, you got to run it through someone to actually double check that stuff.
They needed one English speaker, a single
One guy.
dude, and he could have caught like 70% of the problems before the game shipped. Like just like some guy, like it could have been anyone who speaks English fluently.
Yeah, and even like
Yeah, like raise basic attacks. It's like, guys, I don't think this is right.
Oh yeah, it does 15% damage with a 177% increased crit chance. Remember that
They
blow?
hire their fucking janitor to go through the game to
yeah.
look through everything.
But-
But guys, I don't think this is supposed to be this.
But yeah, and then it's like a lot of them, it's like, okay, when drawing by an ability, increase damage amount by 20%. So the buy means it's multiplicative for 1 turn, 2 times per turn. Does this stay? Does, you know what I mean? There's all like a lot of the wording, you've just got to get something and test it. And then, okay, that's how it works. Because unfortunately, a lot of it is just a little bit hazy. And like I said, I thought this was going to cycle through. And I was just like, dude, this is going to be broken. But then you've got like, the thing is when you mix cheese with more cheese and then it gets way too cheesy because then you mix this thing with the dimensional, is it the dimensional cube it's called? The one that when you discard cards. And then so now you're getting that onto a 4-hitter of this thing which costs 0. And then you've got infinite scaling damage because that's the one multiplier that they didn't put a cap on because they thought, oh, we don't have a character that's going to discard everything, do we? Obviously. Yeah. And then so you get
that's
like...
what's fun, right?
Yeah. And
Theorizing that is like, I want to make this combo. That's what's so fun.
So the thing about stuff like that is, it's like, it's cool, but once it's done, it's like... That's now the baseline of something being cool, and now nothing is cool because now if you want to have a really big highlight, make sure you're using the cube and the 9 coster, and you're slapping something like unless you're hitting the the new boss on 9 debuffs for at minimum 5k per tick of that thing, it's not impressive anymore. Like, you know what I mean? It gets that weird spot of nothing feels impressive. I don't know. How do you guys feel about that?
Well,
I
I
mean,
think one of
it's
the
just like
so I've
PoE.
played a lot of Yeah, I guess. I've played a lot of roguelikes, and I think one of the most fun things is trying to find those broken combos and like being like, what if I try these things together? The thing is they need more of them. They need there to be like a bunch of them. So it's like you're trying that thing, ecstasy of violence with a cube. It's like, oh, let's try this thing. Okay, that's really cool. Let me try this other thing. They need like a bunch of different avenues for that so that everyone finds a way that they kind of want to play and make crazy stuff. And then what they need to do is they need to then add some uber crazy difficulty thing in this game where you use that save that's like super insane and you get to like some crazy high level content. And I'm thinking like either another chaos thing like an uber chaos or like a dungeon of some sort where you get to actually utilize these things. And they need to have the enemies actually have mechanics because like the current final boss of Laboratory Zero, his mechanic is he does a lot of damage and gets stronger every turn. When you're on difficulty 11, the mechanic is I have to kill you in 3 turns or I die. Like,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
if they actually had cool mechanics to play around, then you might see more interesting decks and cards picked too. Like, have you seen the Judas runs people would do when they're using Wander of the Void, where it like stops their turn counter,
Yep.
so that they're able to throw like 50 cards out before he can do anything. So like, if we start seeing more interesting mechanics for enemies, maybe we start seeing some of these cards we think are garbage. It's like, oh, this is a really good tech piece, and like I want this thing, and you can do really cool combos. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I completely agree. And it's kind of funny, like the more you play through and like, and that's what I like about the roguelike is it forces you into things. Like I was just going for the dupe event the conversion event at the start so you can save 10 points. And I ended up getting this build on Amica, which is basically just pure AP generation.
Yeah.
But then I on the first conversion, I got this thing. And then it divined into a permanent 3 morale and 1 resolve. And then I get a draw every turn. It's like, I was like, wow, this actually ain't too bad. And then, it's got lead. So I just put the pyramid on. And if it happens to start in hand, we get the free. And like, I'd never considered playing this thing until I saw that's what it can epiphany into. And I'm like, what? I just get permanent. I'm like, wait, what if I, doing a Hugo build and I put this on my Tressa as well? And now I have like a 6 morale perma uptime. Then you've got all those different options. But I definitely think it all stems back to there is nothing to use your builds in. There's Dimensional Twilight and there's the new boss. And that's pretty much it. I think it would be really cool to have like because chaos is the fun. The RNG is the fun.
Yes.
And so what I think would be really cool would be like a giga hard chaos, but you bring your saves into it.
Hey, that's my idea.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, is that what you
100% agree, man. That's what I keep saying too. That's what I want because we both love chaos, man.
Yeah.
It's so fun.
So it's like if you could bring your save in and now it's like a giga hard one that this one, like, because like we said, with the normal chaos, because it's so RNG based, it's like, okay, you do difficulty 11. It feels like ass because now you're just struggling to get through. You can't really make your builds. It doesn't feel good. But if there was a giga hard one that you bring your saves into, then making people lose that a lot, it's no longer I lost, so now I don't get to get my save that I was working on. Now it's I lost, I got to come back for that challenge. And what you could do in that run is maybe give excess epiphanies and stuff like that, or different buffs that go above and beyond. So you still have that progression through the run, but those things don't get saved into your final build for it. But maybe if you get through it, you get to make one modification to your build or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, and maybe,
that could be cool.
and then each save data, if we go over here and something like this, because this would also sort of fix the feeling of shit when you just miss out on one thing on your save data. But let's say each save data, when you take it in, there's like maybe a 1 or a 2 like deep memory counter. And so when you clear this really hard chaos that you go into with your presets, you get to make one adjustment. There's like a one final, listen, I'm coming up with this on the fly. I don't have the perfect model, but something like that.
No,
so
I
you
think
can
you're
make 2
on the right
modifications to a deck save from this like deep chaos where you bring in builds. And then that chaos becomes a lot more enjoyable than, okay, I'm getting a build and then I'm going to have nothing to do with it. And then I'm going to go back to chaos. So I don't know, something like, I'll let you guys talk because I just rambled shit.
I was thinking like if you could re-epiphany cards and stuff like that. So you'd be able to change the epiphany or add god epiphanies onto your current cards. I think there
Right.
should be some sort of blacksmith forge that where you can add affixes on it. So like you could add retain or like recover or
Oh,
these different affixes
Yeah, that
onto
would be
cards,
cool.
because then you could almost customize certain characters' builds to be like, well, now I'm making a retain build. Now this character works with Orlia, and I have like a retain mechanic or something. Like you could add so many cool things in this like uber chaos where you're really taking your top builds to try and really push it as far as you can. I think there's so much potential for it because I mean the chaos is the fun. That's what we all love about it. Nobody loves going to that memory of chaos basin crap. Like
yeah. Oh,
that's not really fun. It's not interesting. You just sweep it and then you're like, okay, well that's 1 month of content. Nobody cares about that. The chaos, that's where all the fun is for most of us at least.
and I'll give them some leniency. I feel like they put in terms of gotcha. I mean, there's the what's the game this is in? Like, I never played the game. What's the game this is
Slay the
inspired
Spire?
from? Slay the Spire. Yeah. Like, obviously that's a new that is a new concept to gotcha games. It's kind of like when Arknights came in. It was like we'd never seen a tower defense gotcha game, and it was like, you know, those unique things feel so damn good. And like everything that they brought in that feels original to, I'll call it, to gotcha games is fantastic. And then I feel like they ran out of development time, and they're like, fuck, we need more content. What's that the most popular games have? Oh, okay. Yoink, douche. And it's like anything that they just copy pasted feels like ass in the game. And it's like, what? It's not designed for this game. And so
makes no sense.
I think they just did that because they were on a crunch and they had to slap shit in to get it out. I don't know what happened, but that's going to be my assumption. And
Well,
I'm hopeful that they will design good endgame content for the style of game that it is. That's my hope. In the next 6 months, I hope they get something out.
after they fix
Yeah.
Owen's story. The director said that he admires Hoyoverse, so I mean that's might be why we see a lot of similar things. Like, you know what's funny? The gear system, I think most of us think the gear system kind of sucks. Most of the sets don't even make sense. Like they're not even good.
I will
Like,
say
they're
though,
trash.
I will say that gearing is a lot easier in this game.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like it's that bad.
Because
You know,
You
you
get
know
a
what's so
decent set of
weird
gear pretty
though
quick.
is they Epic 7 was like a gearing system that was solid. Then Honkai's Star Rail and Genshin copied Epic 7's gear system and changed it a bit, and now they're copying the copy of their well, they copied from Summoner's War originally, so it's a copy of a copy of like a copy when they could have just used their other one. I don't know why they copied the copy, but
yeah,
like,
so
it's so strange to me.
I do like that it's like, okay, you just go up your rarity. This is always going to have 3 substats at base, unlock 1 extra substat. There's no, like, even though flat stats are good in substats in gear, there's no chasing between flat stat and percentage on the main stat as well. So I do feel like, it's not very engaging. And I don't get the same feeling. Like, I don't know about you, but when I play other games with RNG gearing system, when I get a good piece of gear, I get super excited. But with this game, it's just like, oh, well, I hope it gives me an extra 2% crit chance. Like, there's nothing where I'm like, oh, hopefully I get a god roll, because let's face it, god rolls are all about speed in the other games. And so anything that's not speed, you just don't care about. And so in this game, it's just like, it's quick and easy to slap a build together. And, you know, you can get, but like, it's crazy feeling like my 57% crit rate Yuki is like top tier in crit rate terms. It's like, it's ridiculous how hard that is to get. But
The crit in this game, I have a 55 crit rate Kron. I missed like 10 crits in a row, and it became the hardest elite battle of my entire life because I'm just like, okay, I can't land this. This is absurd. Like, it's just, this is how they want you to play, is everything is a gamble.
Dude,
You never even know.
I was streaming and I was like, hey, boys, I think we can kill this boss if we get every crit. I got like 7 or 8 crits in a row and he was left with like 20 HP. And I'm like, no. But yeah, it's the RNG, the crits, man. But yeah, it's crazy hard, which I don't think it's a big issue. A lot of things are multi-hits, but which allows you to do it. Except the one thing is that AoEs are either everyone's a crit or no one's a crit. Sometimes I'd like them to all to be individual. It's like maybe that way, instead of killing them all or killing none of them, I'd kill 2 of them, and that would make things a bit easier. But I mean, that's a very nitpick. But
it does strike me kind of weird that they're like the crit is individually rolled per cast and not per unit.
yeah,
Like I understand like why, but like it kind of. Like you said, it decreases the variability in the gameplay. So maybe like, oh, I really need to crit this one, and you end up critting the other 2. I feel like that just kind of adds a little bit more than just critting everyone when you crit.
yeah.
I mean, I guess it's kind of nice.
It averages.
It goes either way,
same.
right? I mean, like it's the same thing, but it reduces the variability in your runs, right? So
yeah.
Granted, if you get
feel
100% crit, you're gonna crit everything anyways. But
It's weird there even is a gear system in my eyes.
yeah,
Like
yeah, I
you
feel
get
like a
the
lot of people
gear
just
in
want to
the
remove.
run, but then why do you also have gear outside? And then look, I'm just gonna be real. The UI is atrocious for the gearing system. It is
Yeah,
one
it's
of the
so bad.
worst I have ever
Oh.
seen trying to navigate and like look at your stuff, and then it's like, which piece do I have on? Okay, do I have
Dude,
to set
you know
finish?
what?
Then
You
have
know
to
what
go
I always
back,
do.
like-
You know what I always do. I always click on this one, and I think it's going to be the second. I don't know why, and then it takes me down to the 4th,
yeah,
and I'm like,
top.
it goes top down, and then I click on this one, thinking it's going to be the first, and it's the 3rd, and I'm like, wait, so you're starting from here and rolling through? Like, what are we doing? Oh, you guys
They
can't
add
see
the
it on
numbers.
screen because our heads are in the way.
Add the numbers, man, because otherwise you're like, oh, so what denial piece do you use? And someone's gonna be like, what the hell are you talking about? What imagination piece do you use? What? Yeah, you just say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 now because it's so ridiculous. It feels like the gear was thrown together at the last second. Because how many characters even want to use a 4-piece set?
Yeah,
Almost nobody. There's like a few of them.
that's the crazy thing. It's like even like. Yeah, it's just
Even
so
after
weird
the
to
buff,
have
that
4
makes it even
pieces
worse.
feel like us. But honestly, I'm not going to complain about it because if Besden's slot is just 2-2 and then I've got a flex slot unless
Yeah,
I'm using
it's
Agony,
easy.
it just makes it easier to gear and I don't really give a shit. So it's one of those things, it's like, it depends which way you look at it. I mean, at least they got a decent crafting system from base, which ain't too bad to get yourself a couple little pieces, but... Yeah, I mean, gear, like the one thing I will say that feels good is the gear doesn't feel as integral in this game. Is that, do you guys feel
You
the
don't
same?
need crazy stats if that's what you mean. Like,
Yeah,
you need like a crit chance neck level 5, but you don't need like insane substats. You're not chasing
Yeah.
the craziest things.
Although this one rolled pretty
It's
well. I rolled
definitely
every roll into
noticeable
crit
when you have
damage.
it, though.
Wait, that's actually so good. Holy dude, I have an 8.7% crit chance piece, and I'm like, in other games that would be like garbage. In this game, it's like this is unbelievable.
Yeah, in other games that's just one roll and you're like, what's going on? Yeah, that's actually crazy crit chance. Yeah, my best I think is the 5.1. Holy shit. How'd you get that crit?
I mean, I think there's a lot of systems in this game that feel very underbaked. Like, I'm sure you guys have talked about the potential before in this game, the potentials.
Oh, yeah.
The final potentials for characters, what were they smoking, dude?
Why the
Some of them
fuck
are
is
bad.
everything a basic attack? Like, who?
Only Mei Lin cares about that. Nobody else wants the
I-
basic attack.
I say this so often.
Yeah.
Mei Lin has the biggest buff in the game that like the potentials are so catered towards her. They're just like, it's like whoever designed potentials was a Mei Lin main, and that's, you're never going to convince me otherwise. The fact that every
copy-pasted.
character has this hyper investment that does your basic attack is like, what the fuck are we cooking, boys? I got no idea.
And what makes that even crazier is that her save data is way easier to build for that
Yep.
reason too.
Yeah.
So she's literally 3 times as strong for that reason than any other
a god
5-star in the
character.
game.
Yeah,
Like-
if you like basics, well, congratulations, you win the game because now you get god builds. You don't like any of your basics, go fuck off. It's like,
She's also the
no.
only
happier.
character that does like infinite damage too. She does like $200,000 kick or damage kick combo. I don't know why I said dollar, but
Yeah.
she's the highest damage dealer in the game. She's one of the easiest to get like the saves
build.
because you don't go over. Yeah, and then she just has everything.
Yeah, when I
Yeah.
pulled for Yuki, I got a 3rd Meilin dupe, and I was more happy with that. Like, I'm glad I lost the 50-50 for another Meilin
Yeah.
instead of getting the dupe character in the game.
Yeah. I mean, I'm still missing the Cleep and the Meilin. And the 300 selector is going to be a big choice because I was all in Khalid, but the thing is with the new boss coming, I'm like, depending on how the boss works and like leaderboards, I don't really care. As long as I can get all the rewards tied into the boss, whether it's like damage based, I'm like, I'm holding out on my 300 selector to see what happens with her before I go ahead and choose. How far are we? Ooh, we're 13 pulls away from it.
Ooh, really close. And you actually literally could right now, but you're just saving those crystals.
Well, yeah, you don't use those on standard banner, mate. That's a bit crazy.
Well, but isn't that crazy that you've done 287 polls and you're not even using the crystals on standard banner? You will almost hit 300 already.
Do you want to know what's even more crazy? Is this?
Oh, I saw these polls,
dude. Wait, where is it? Yuki, Yuki, and then 15 pulls earlier, Haru. I've done 60 pulls on this banner and hit what's that? 3, 4, 5, and hit 5 of them. It's crazy.
Actually,
I pity every time.
Yep.
Every time.
Yep. Always pity, lose 50-50. Welcome to the real world.
The best thing is I wasn't even pulling. Oh, that's brutal. Yeah, no, I wasn't even pulling for it. I was just doing it while I waited for my mate to top up to do his pulls. And then we hit that. Oh my god. But yeah, is there anything else that you guys want to touch on in terms of the chaos, in terms of Yuki, in terms of what you guys would like to see? Because like I said, the crazy thing is there is so many things that, like, so many issues in the game. But it's just like, it's so the game, and I think this is the crazy thing for me with gacha games. Where Warbalt, I'm not sure how many gacha games you play, but I know you play a ton, Jenazad as well. It's like I really think that this is going to be something that we see a lot more, and this could be a good change for gacha games as opposed to the bad change, which I always saw Genshin as the bad change because like everyone then copied that all their shit models, and now it's like, because we saw Stellar Soria, obviously they fucked themselves, but you know they had this same roguelike system. The end game is built around using a roguelike to get your builds. Like imagine if Star Rail was simulated universe to get a build, and then you take that into the memory of chaos. You know what I mean? So I do think this could be something we see moving forward, because when you see a game like this that has, like, once again, not like massive game breaking issues, but little niggly things that are annoying, but everyone keeps playing it so damn much and enjoys every bit of it. And, you know, you got Korea on fire with the game and Global's just like, yeah, but I'm having fun. I do think this could be a model that we see more and more going forward, because it is just that fun. Like, do you know what it is about this model that is just so enjoyable? Like I said, I spent 10 hours and didn't get anything out of it, but I go back and do more.
Well, some people consider Slay the Spire to be the greatest game ever made.
You get Warbalt.
I guess it's the roguelike feel, Warbalt, right? It's that feeling of like what you could get,
chasing.
Right?
Yeah, it tickles the gotcha gamble itch and the deck save gamble itch. It's like, I don't know. This is really just a game on your psyche, really.
Also, the team.
There's always something to chase.
I think the team building is really huge, because like you want to build more characters, Vulcan, because you're like, I want to try this character with this team comp, and then if I try this, maybe I could build towards this thing. Like every time you play a new character, it feels like it opens up so much of the game, because you now have so many things to try and like different things to go for. And that excitement is something you don't feel in most gachas. Because let's be honest, most gachas are, you put the square block in the square hole. Oh, I used the fire character with the fire team with the fire set that just came out. Wow, oh my god. And then there's 15 guide videos about how to build that character, and people eat it up. It's like,
and there's one best way, and that's it.
You build this character, bro. Yeah, it's like you build them like this. Duh. Yeah, you put the fire set on the fire character, bro. But like this game, there's so much, and it's funny because this game has almost every conceivable problem I can even think about, and yet it's so fun that we're all playing it. It has so many issues that you would see people quit a game over, but they don't quit just because the core of the game is genuinely so fun. They're willing to look past all of the issues just to play.
Yeah, see, that's like...
They nailed the gameplay 100%.
Dude, the amount of Yuki saves I have that just I don't back to, dude, I'm getting frustrated just looking at these builds that I was doing. I was trying to do like a single target Yuki build with the flash slash. You can see we only got 70 points on this thing because I just couldn't get the dupes. I couldn't get the epiphanies. Dude, it killed me. But yeah, like when you're talking about that, like, you know, there's different ways to play. Like I was going in experimenting with the single target Yuki build. which I would have used this a lot more if it actually got a couple better dupes and a better epiphany on this thing. But I was just like, this could be such a fun thing to go ahead and experiment, because I wanted to do a Yuki with a Hugo. I screwed up on this Hugo build. I did half of it at night and half of it when I woke up, and I got a third one of this hunting instincts, and I only want two of them, so I kind of messed up. But the idea was I wanted to do a Yuki with a Hugo, and Hugo only having his draw cards and upgrades. And so that's why I got this one on Hugo and all the draw potential. So now it's like Hugo is the draw engine for Yuki to pair with it. And it's like, that's not an orthodox thing, but there's all these like fun ideas that you can come up with to make different characters work once you get a proper build on them. It's never going to work in chaos, but if you get a build, it could be a fun way to play about it. But yeah, I think that's like one of the key things is like, yes, there's like a cookie cutter, you know, this is kind of the general way to play the character. Jesus, there's a fucking moth in here. What's it doing? Like this is the cookie cutter way to play it, but like there's so many experimentations you can do. And then there's always just that, oh shit, I hit a divine that gives me AP with this skill. Like now that is just like, now it's searching me cards and giving me AP, like
more.
And putting
That moth is
vulnerable.
going everywhere, by the
fuck?
way. I see that moth going all over, man.
Yeah, it's fucking right in my face here. It's just has no fear. Jesus.
It's funny to talk about, like, hopefully games will copy it. Right now, the popular thing to copy is Umumusume, that type thing, where you have, like, it's sort of a roguelike in a way like this. Not quite the same, but it's like each run you're trying to get, like, a perfect setup. There's actually a game, I don't know if you guys have heard of it, called, is it Star Savior, I think? It's a Korean game that just came out.
That was like today, wasn't it?
Korea only, I think. Yeah, I think like today. How that game works is it's like, imagine Epic 7 or Honkai Star Rail, right? And it has PvP and all that stuff. But you Umumusume do a run for each of the characters. And that's how you gear them up and like train their stats and all that stuff. Is you do a whole Umumusume career run
I never played
for that character, and then you
Umumusume,
use
so
them
I
in
got no
PvP.
idea.
Me neither.
Oh, okay.
I refuse to play that
Well,
game.
imagine,
Just based on the
imagine
setting
like
of
you're,
The principle
imagine
of
you're doing a
horse
whole
racing
chaos run.
waifus was just weird as fuck, man. I
Yeah, I
don't
was just
care.
like-
That's just
a bunch of my friends
Hey,
play it too, so I'm
I
just
played a
like,
bunch of the game. It was like a fun little gimmick for a time. I got bored, but like, hey, I'm willing to try something if it seems interesting at all.
like I'm the furry Hugo man, and I couldn't get around horse
Yeah,
racing
true. Yeah,
waifus.
look at
You know,
you.
Like-
You can't talk.
But yeah, no, I definitely think if that's the way they go, where it's like the you know, you do the runs, you get custom builds, and you're trying to get the best build. It's the pursuit of never hitting the best. Whereas other games like you know Star Rail, the pursuit of getting the best is, oh, can I get an extra speed roll on this piece of gear, because everything else is kind of just uniform. Whereas this, you're never going to hit a point where you like, I have the absolute best, because there's always something else you can get. And I think that is the really fun gameplay loop. But once again, the thing that I love about it is, dude, you get a week where you cannot play the game. You log in for 5 minutes and do your dailies. You've missed out on absolutely nothing. You've just missed out on the fun of playing through it.
It plays like a game more than a gacha, where it's like, I need to walk around the world and grab some more chests or whatever for gacha currency.
Yeah, it just feels like you're like, because normally in gacha games, I think that's what it is. Normally in gacha games, you're playing because you need the progression and you want that. Whereas this is more, you're playing for the enjoyment. And if you happen to get it, that's a bonus. You know what I mean? Like that's your end goal, but you're accepting that I could spend 10 hours and get nothing.
right. And then on top of that, like this is the first gacha game I've ever played where I don't feel super incentivized to pull stuff, because like there's literally people clearing all the content in the game without doing a single pull on their whole account.
Yeah,
Which
zero
is,
pull account.
what other gacha game can you do that in besides, you know, fucking like Genshin? It's just PvE anyway, you know. But like in games with, you know, challenging content where like you typically want a diverse unit pool to clear things, like imagine trying to do Epic 7 with the starting units and that's it. I don't think that's possible. Like, so it's actually kind of cool that they made every character relevant in a sense. Like
all the
I
4
bet
stars
you
are
could,
insane.
like, they're all good.
There's like
yeah.
so many crazy ones.
You say that you don't feel incentivized to pull, but holy fuck, I just want every character and I want to be able to play them. The only thing that curbs the itch,
just for that reason.
Yeah, the only thing that curbs the itch of wanting every character is the fact that I know I'm not going to be able to build them anyway. So it's like that sort of like that's like the extra thing that makes me go, okay, it doesn't really matter.
The trucks.
Yeah.
Send the trucks, Korea. Get to work. We need those trucks.
Oh, I can't wait to see that. That's crazy. Yeah. Any last thoughts? I got about 5 more minutes that I can hang around. Then I got to go take the kids because the missus is getting up for her cycle class.
There was
I
when we were
think
talking about the hell mode like chaos, or I think that's something they really should do. And there's so much they could do with that. So like when I was mentioning like maybe for seasons they could have, you know, an epiphany on your mythic. It's my corgi in the window.
Give him a shock, mate. You'll be right.
Yeah. So like maybe that's where like you get an epiphany for your mythic card. Is like in the hell realm. Or even just upgrading the quality of the gear that you have.
Oh,
Imagine like
that's a good idea.
a mythic quality gastronomicon that like applies 3 stagony
And
or
agony.
3 agony, yeah, or 2 stacks of agony every time it hits. Like that would be a chase item that I would do that mode constantly just for that one piece of gear.
Yeah.
So
This
I
game
just
has
wanted
so
to
much
tack
room
that
for
a little
growth.
bit onto that, but like there's so much potential in this game. I hope they don't and they've also like this is something we didn't talk about. They also have done a pretty good job at listening to people grievance.
Yeah.
And Epic 7, well, Smilegate in general is not they don't have a good track record of that at all. So the fact that they're actually listening and implementing changes in so quickly, like when people like I'm kind of hoping they do buff Yuki, but I don't know. That's still like coin flip whether that happens or not. But like with the season itself, like when people had their issues, they implemented the zero system in like right away. Like they didn't wait. Like okay, well in 2 weeks, you know, when the next part of it, you know, opens up or whatever. It's like, and I think that's how you keep your player base.
100%.
I wish a lot more games companies or you know developers. I wish a lot more did this because like I've related literally in one of my videos them to like GGG because like if GGG you know PoE they see an issue and people are complaining about stuff, it's like okay we're gonna look into that and they even if it's just a band-aid fix they will try to do something to make it feel less shit, like adding sprint or you know checkpoints, you know the stuff they did in that game to like just make it feel less shit. And I feel like they're doing a good job on it so far. And I hope they continue doing it. And they don't like, you know, just say, oh, well, we'll wait, you know, the next month we'll fix it or whatever.
Yeah.
Because they did that for a long time in E7 to where like Jenna, I don't know if you remember when the pets came out and it took 6 months for them to make them better. Like,
Oh yeah,
like,
people
oh my
quitting the
fucking God,
game
man.
over it.
It's like, I just hope they continue doing that because they've done a good job so far. You know, stop using AI for translation. And then the base game is already so good, and they have a solid foundation.
Yeah, and I think the thing they were on point with those like quick hot fixes was like I was feeling like when the season came out for a day it was fun because I just got Yuki, and then I was trying to do the difficulty 8 grind, and I'm like, I'm just not having any fun in this game anymore.
Yeah,
like,
I didn't even want to play it anymore.
No, I was just like, I'm fucking done. And then they come out straight with the hot fix. They do it. Like I said, there's a bunch of issues like the duping events being shit, but like it's at least it's fun again. You know what I mean? Like it went from being incredibly fun to that patch. Wow, this is absolute arse. I have no interest in playing at the moment. To hot fix to wow, I'm back addicted. You know what I mean? So at least they're on the pulse, and it seems like they do understand what the biggest issues are, and they can address those. And then the smaller issues, they leave for longer. But why the fuck they left Hugo fixed till now, till a month into the game? That is unforgivable. Yeah. It's like,
Sorry, buddy, you're just not important. Sorry, man.
Dude, they just hate me. They're like, he's complaining about this every video and every stream. Let's leave it for a month. I thought I was going insane, man. Holy shit. But yeah, hopefully they do keep doing that. But any final words on you, Jenna?
No, that's about it. I think the game will only go up as long as they keep working on it and adding good content. It has so much potential. I really hope it lives up to it. I hope Owen doesn't kill the game. And I guess we'll see what happens. Hopefully that story rewrite will happen quickly and everyone over in Korea is going to love it.
Dude, have you seen that AI generated GIF on Discord with Owen?
Oh, the emote where like he puts his arms around Tressa
and Mika or whatever it is. Dude, that is absolutely emote, savage. But all right, that's all. I got to get in. I got to go take the kids before they wake up. But hey, boys, really appreciate you coming on. Once again, everyone, I will have their links in the description. Go show these boys some love. And as always, thanks for watching. I hope you have an awesome day. We'll look forward to seeing the next one. Cheers.